objectively nicer
But
if they made the standard and Genshin like how it works in Star Rail.
yeah, where we can select the character at 300 full.
But nope, whale trap banner. Let's go.
Why did they make the fucking thingy separate, Resty? Like, why not put the pity system on standard as well, where we can select the thingies that we want?
Exactly. Who says they couldn't have added both at the same time?
Question. Is the event banner for the Mondstadt ones gonna use like standard pulls or event pulls?
There is no change anywhere. You're wondering what currency we're using.
Yes. Is
It's
it a quaint or
intertwined. It's the
intertwined?
limited event one, not the common banner one.
Even worse. Why? Like, why not make the standard banner pity share with the event, the Mondstadt event one?
Yeah, that would have been kinda nice, but it's an understandable enough decision. No one saves standard banner pulse.
And then another one, Resty. Like, so it's like the pity thingy, right? Yeah, pity, 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 pity.
Yes, we're talking about
Can
pity.
they make the pity lower?
Huh?
Can they make pity?
You keep cutting off.
Can they make pity lower?
Indeed. If they made pity lower, yeah, that would have been great. It would have been similar to how Honkai does it. Honkai Impact Third, specifically, I
How does,
mean. Because
how does
Honkai
it work?
Impact actually has a similar banner system that apparently they introduced just 1 year after the game of the games thing, where it's basically the same, but the pity is lower. But to make up for it, it also the banners don't last as long. They
Based
basically rotate like every 3 days.
based Honkai.
It's a very fast banner system.
How much is the pity that you need?
Hmm. I don't remember. It's like half as much, like 50 instead of 90 or something.
Yeah, yeah. I'd say that's good if you have like a character that you have in mind, and then they come out there.
Yeah, it's not a whale trap, but it's definitely a compulsion trap because of how quickly they rotate. Like I said, every 3 days.
Honestly, I don't want to say it's a compulsion trap too.
Do you ever get
it, it,
collector's anxiety?
am I what now?
Do you ever get collector's anxiety?
No, I mean kinda.
Yeah, that's basically
Sometimes,
what that banner specializes in taking advantage of, though.
but my will is strong.
True. I wish I could say the same about myself.
Like, yeah, I mean, do you remember the thingy that I told you? Like, you got Navia, right? And I'm like, give me a reason to pull for Navia.
You still ended up falling for her. Need I remind
Navia,
you?
Navia is stronger than yours now.
Yep. And now you're gonna
And I,
fall for Chiori. I guess you just have an obsession with Geo DPSs, huh?
I mean, I didn't pull for Ito.
True.
I could have pulled for him,
True.
but I didn't. Like, if he starts attacking that more guy.
Same. I already had Noel and I wasn't about to cheat with that. You know that meme format with the guy looking behind to
You
see
know,
that hotter girl while his girlfriend thingy. Yeah.
I feel like if Ito's skill wasn't just him throwing a bull,
Yeah, what? Where the fuck yeah, the bull is the most confusing part of his kit from me. Like, why does he have a pet dog, and why has it never been featured anywhere? It still doesn't get any mentions.
that's why his nickname is Bull Chucker. Remember?
I guess, yeah. But like, it shows up nowhere. Like the latest event we had with Ito in the Beagle contest. That's the last time saw him
The thing,
as of late.
the thing I don't like about Ito's kit is not specifically the charge attack part. The thing I don't like about is the bull. It just does nothing. It sits there and taunts enemies, and that's it.
Yeah. Another character that has a fucking pet that doesn't get any mention is a very new character, and that's Gaming. That one is also pretty confusing to me.
I mean, you should probably mention it as lore or something. I don't know. But who the fuck is the lord? Lord Nerd.
Yeah, but while I don't want to read lore to learn about my characters.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Gaming shit. And you know, like more noticeable is for gaming. Just something enemy. Ito's bull. Like the bull could have done like a stampede attack, Resty. Like you drop the bull. If you're charge attacking with Ito, the bull also fucking like vibrates the ground and does geo damage. You
Ah,
know?
sneaky.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah,
Like
that
the
would that is pretty cool idea.
so many characters in Genshin that it could have been better. Like I still hate fucking Yoimiya.
All right.
Her Resty, I
Ah,
still not understand. Her ultimate is supposed to be a way for her to do AoE. Her mark explodes, dealing AoE damage. Where is the AoE? Nowhere. It doesn't hit. It doesn't hit multiple targets even if they're close to each other. Right, Resty?
yes.
It's just stupid. But yeah, what do you think of Chiori? You, you're gonna put you're gonna put in a bar, obviously, because that's the best defense weapon. Finally, someone that can use that aside from um, Albedo.
And I am actually using it with Geo Traveler.
Hmm. What the fuck does Chiori's kit do? Did you see what she does?
Uh, her skill creates constructs that deal damage. It's similar to Zhongli's, except you can't actually climb up it, and it resonates. And if there's any other nearby Geo constructs, it'll also resonate, similar to what Ningguang, similar to what Zhongli does with the resonation thing.
And the resonation, what does it do? Like how much damage does it do? Is it pretty good? And how big is the
Obviously,
range?
that kind of info is not known
Okay.
to the public yet.
How big is the range? Is it just about the same as Zhongli's?
I don't know. Oof.
But how big is the range though? You said it shows the thingies. How big is the range?
I don't know. I didn't get a good look, and I don't know. It maybe it's like the same range as Zhongli,
Okay, so if it comes to that, you know what I'm gonna do, Resty?
and you can have up to like three of them at a time, from what I could
Uh,
see.
so it so
But
it's a
I'm
low
I'm not
cooldown.
sure. I'm not sure if her about her skill cooldown. I'm not sure. No one. No, that's gonna have to.
So here's the thing, Resty. You wanna know what's gonna happen if I
Well,
do get her? So Zhongli can go to a different team now, go to Chiori team, and then I'll just put Mona in the fucking Navia team.
nice.
See, it still works, right?
Admittedly,
So that works. Oh, that's the team that you've been using. Fucking works good.
need to do royalty on my new sword.
So
Well,
yeah, he will be a DPS. And obviously, she's gonna need a shielder, right? Do you think she's like a kryptonite focused character as well, or do you think she's like?
No, she works pretty much like every other Geo character. They prefer being comped with other Geo characters and not much else. Mono Geo is once again her best team.
I wouldn't say mono Geo. I'd say Zhongli mono. Just Zhongli. Just pair with Zhongli because Zhongli works with any Geo.
True.
Huh. If I pair her with Zhongli, who the fuck can work well with her? She's a defense scaler, so obviously there's no need for Gujo Sarah. No need for Bennett as well. Ah, she's a normal attacker, right?
Yeah,
Right. I can put Yelan back into my teams.
nice. You
Chiori
haven't been
Yelan.
using Yelan?
No, because first of all, Resty, my first team is, you already know, the Purina, Nahida, Raiden, Baiju. And my second team is Navia, Zhongli, Bennett, and Xiangling. I haven't been using Navia for a while now. For like the past 4 Abyss
Or
resets.
Yelan, you mean?
Yelan, yeah. So if I get Chiori, she's gonna be a normal attacker, and that means I can put Yelan back in, right?
Ow.
So then who
Yes.
else? I mean, maybe two Hydro, two Geo, because more HP means more good for Yelan and more good for Zhongli too, right?
Yes.
So Chiori, Zhongli, Yelan, and then I guess Sinchu, because you won't be needing healers if you have Zhongli anyways.
True.
So I don't need like Kokomi. I don't need Barbara in the team for that. So that's really good then. I have a team for Chiori now. That's assuming if I get her. Which is I hopefully I get her.
Yes, hopefully we get her.
Because I'm on 50-50. If I lose 50-50 on Chiori, you wanna know what I'm gonna do?
What?
I might try to pull for Kazuha. But okay, there is an exception as to if I'm gonna pull for Kazuha or not. Arlecchino. The knave. When is she gonna come out?
Then now.
Because I think she will be coming out soon, right? Copium. That's straight up copium. What I'm doing, Resty.
Yeah.
But if I don't want to ruin my guaranteed for
Ah, here we
Arlecchino.
go.
Right, Resty?
Maybe.
I don't want to get my guaranteed ruined for Arlecchino because if I get my guaranteed ruined, I'm gonna have to wait for Arlecchino for a long, long time. And I've heard people saying that Arlecchino is gonna be a Linny support, and she has cryo element testing.
I thought father was freaking Pyro.
Huh? Why would
Wait,
she?
Arlecchino is the father, right? The knave?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
it's confirmed she's Pyro.
Then how would she be support to Linny then?
I don't know. But there's plenty of concept art where we see her Pyro vision. She's not a cryo unit.
Ah, she's a pyro then. Okay. So out of all the Fatui people, so Signora was pyro, cryo. Scaramouche was electro and then switched to Anemo. Tartaglia is
Anemo and Electro. Or Hydro and Electro. Blah.
Yeah. The knave is pyro. What's her delusion gonna be then? It can't be cryo. Yeah, that makes sense because Signora was already pyro cryo mix. What's the knave gonna have aside from pyro then? What's her delusion?
That is a mystery.
What if the Knave's delusion was Geo?
Oh no. Well, that
No,
would be the
maybe.
first, I suppose, which would be pretty unique.
I mean, we didn't even get to see Scaramouche's delusion though.
That right. I guess so.
No, we didn't. I guess his delusion was Electro, and he was just using it normally, right?
Yes.
And then he received the vision from Venti for some reason.
Yeah, he was like, I like this man. Give him my vision.
I mean, you know Venti's rule, right? All the short boys need to have an ammo.
Is that right? I guess
I
so.
mean, look at all the short boys that have an ammo that are 5-star Rusty.
Yeah.
There's Xiao, there's Kazuha, there's Venti himself, there's fucking what's his name? Yeah, Scaramouche. You also have Hazel. There's another character that I'm forgetting. I think who's an ammo short? Ah man, I got another 4-star weapon, Rusty, and it's fucking Arlan.
Nice.
You know, how many Ganyu mains are there, Rusty? Because I'm pretty sure they have the same amount as Arlan mains.
There's a lot of them, I swear. There's
Ganyu
a
mains?
lot of R slash Genshin character, and
I
apparently
know,
Kitching is the one with the most, like, following.
I know, and all of them are coping.
Well, not anymore, I would say.
They wear. And then they released Dendro, and then Catching was actually good. What would you say is the lowest main subreddits?
Who indeed?
Amber's has
Candice?
some.
Candice, maybe. I don't think anyone. Oh, maybe Shinyan. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
Amber is
genuinely no one cares about Shinyan. She's just not a very likable character.
and she's pretty useless.
Indeed, yeah. Usefulness doesn't necessarily make or break a popularity of a character.
There's one Xinyan main that fucking does nuke physical damage.
Yeah. He's like, don't mess with me, Shinyan main. I'm the only one.
If there is one Xinyan main, it is me. If there are no Xinyan mains, I am dead.
Pretty much.
Mhm. Okay, aside from Xinyan then. That's a hard thing to answer, huh? I mean, yeah, Amber is pretty useless, right? But there are still Amber mains, like
Yeah,
more
there
than
are
one.
quite a bit, quite a number of them. I believe.
And I don't understand what would prompt them to torture themselves with the Amber, like min maxing damage.
Indeed, everyone who's an Amber main has at least C2. That is a fact.
Why am I torturing myself? I'm getting negative curios left and right.
Nice.
Bro, I just got 3 negative curios in a row. Why did I do that? Shopping channel. Who else, Presty? Who else is, very low amount of mains? It's definitely a 4-star character, right, Presty?
Yeah, I can believe that.
4-star characters that are not used at all. Hmm. Who? Aside from Xinyan, all 5-star character has a following, right? Even Dia, right? Even though she's kind of meh
Yeah,
as
she
a
has a
character,
dedicated following since she's a very charming character.
and
Unlike
she's a
unlike
sweetheart.
another Pyro Playmore user that I know of.
Yeah, and Hmm. What about Sayu? Does anybody still use Sayu? Are there Sayu mains? I've never seen one.
I think there are.
How many though?
That's the real question.
Yeah. Hmm. Hey, yo, Quantum. Damn. What do you think, Resty?
I am
I really,
thinking. Hmm?
I really think there's not any Sayu mains because she's a healer and she doesn't really do damage.
She's a good alternative to Jean, and she still is. She's actually far more
Um,
convenient for Viridescent Venera shredding, unlike
yeah.
Jean, since Sayu's burst actually does continuous damage. Jean
Yeah, yeah,
has
yeah.
to
True.
rely on
Yeah.
enemies going in and
It's
out of
not
her
Sayu.
field.
It's not Sayu then. Are there Toma mains?
Uh, Apart from Dihya, Klee, and maybe Yanfei, he is the primary guy for burgeoning.
Yeah.
Although Burgeon isn't as popular as Hyper Bloom, I'm pretty sure there are still a few people who like his Burgeon playstyle
Mhm.
and unironically main him.
Hmm. Well, okay. 4 stars in Monster are all good.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the first characters that came out are from Mondstadt, and they're all, for the most part, a lot of them are very good.
4 stars in Liyue are also pretty good, except for Xinyan.
What about Ningguang?
I'm pretty sure there are Ningguang mains. She's still pretty good
Yeah, only at
if you don't like.
C6 though, right?
Yeah, I mean, you don't even need C6 though. Like she still like does good damage even at like C4, C5.
That's a fucking lie. I've tried my best many times to make her good. It's
Oh
below.
shit. My Ningguang does damage. I just need to fucking make a specific team for her and actually, level up her talents.
If it involves Zhongli, then that would explain a lot.
Even without Zhongli, you just here's the thing about Ningguang, Resty. The nice thing about Ningguang is you don't need defense. You can go use Bennett as the attack buffer.
Indeed.
That's why Ningguang is good. And Resty, you don't need to exit the circle because she's a ranged unit.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like outside of fucking C6, all she's good for is being a fucking. All she can provide is Geo Shred with her freaking Jade Screen.
You
And
mean
that's it.
Geo damage increase?
Yeah,
She
Geo
fucking
damage
does damage with
increase.
her.
Fuck, not
She does it,
Shred.
Resty. She can fucking. She can fucking use her skill twice, and it does like 40k damage each. So that's like an 80k damage. When you use her skill, you spawn the wall.
That's not a lot.
It's not a lot. Your fucking characters can't even do that much.
Okay, fair.
Like you need to rely on fucking hyper bloom reaction to actually do that much and more.
Yes, that is the same damage as my Hyper Blooms.
Exactly. And then if you use Ningguang's ultimate, a proper built Ningguang should be able to do 20k per per one of the ultimate like homing missile. 20k each on a proper built one. And that's just with Widset resting.
I see.
Of course, right? I mean, that's basically her best in slot. If you're going for a free-to-play weapon that's 4-star. I mean, your Skyward Atlas is also pretty good. The other next best thing is probably the one that I have, Memory of Dust and Lost Prayer. but those are 5 stars. So we can count Ningguang out of the, people don't main them. Ningguang has a good bunch of people that play her. I'm pretty sure.
I see.
Beidou, definitely people play her because she's pretty good with, you know, just taser.
Yeah, there's plenty
You
of
know,
stuff to
yeah,
like with
you
her.
know, if Beidou actually worked with Raiden Shogun, people would play her more.
Indeed.
Like the Electro Shred from her ultimate, right? It's so good. Like not ultimate, her C6.
Ah, is that right?
Hey, do you not remember the Electro Shred that she does?
No, I don't. I have C2 fucking C2 Beto. C2
Yeah, the
Raiden, yeah, I
reason
wish.
people complain, why does Raiden Shogun normal attacks on her ultimate not count as triggering Beidou's shield shred thingy?
Is that the Light Dragon? Oh my god, it fucking is.
Oh, what now? What are
Ugh,
you
I wish I
doing?
could climb her ass. Wait, no, that sounds wrong.
What are you doing?
Playing Zelda.
Oh, you're doing Zelda. Right. Who else is a character that nobody plays, Resty?
I don't think this is a good idea, but I'm gonna try it anyway.
The Cremators.
Yeah, I ain't got no clue.
Think, Resty. Think. Okay, let's. We already went through Mondstadt. All of them are good. Liyue, all of them are good except for Shinya. Shinya. I'd say all of the Inazuma ones are also pretty damn okay, right?
I think, yeah.
Like all of them work okay. What about Sumaru? There's Dory. There's Kole. Both of them are good. There's Candice. She's pretty good, I'd say, if you know how to play her. And
What
people
about
do quote her.
Dory? I think Dory is the most likely to not have a lot of people wanting to use her.
I'm pretty sure she's pretty good though. Like she gives energy, she heals you. What do you want?
There's already an Electro healer and a Kuki, and her energy recharge is all she really provides. At C6, she can be on field as a driver, I guess, with her Electro infused normal attacks, but that's still not enough to save her. Since it's a really. Her normal attacks are just really shit.
There's definitely cabin mains.
Probably.
I mean, have you seen how thick Cabot's ass is?
What?
Did you not see the memes about Cabe? Like, go watch the Cabe trailer, Resty, and look at the most replayed part.
Bruh.
it was the shot where Cabe was like crouching down from the normal attack, and then yeah, it was just a shot of his ass.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, like watch the Cabe trailer, Resty.
I don't wanna.
Who else are the 4 stars in Sumeru? Okay, Paruzan also really good, especially with the demo damage dealers like Scaramouche, Shao.
For keeping me warm.
Who else, Resty?
Another shield for keeping me cool would be
Okay,
nice
what
to
about
have
what about
too.
like Fontaine? What about Fontaine 4 stars? Obviously, there's Linny mains because they like the cat girl, right?
Unlike Sumeru, which just had the worst lineup of 4 stars ever released, Fontaine so far does have some pretty good ones, as far as I'm
Yeah,
aware.
Fremene's kind of meh. But I'm pretty sure some people like him because physical damage.
Yeah,
He
another
works
physical damage unit, that's pretty rare.
Are there razor mains?
Probably. I mean, he's Gap Moe and stand-up power memes.
I mean, out of all the Mondstadt 4 stars, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be like the lowest one, probably, right?
Yeah, definitely. If you're an on-field unit and you're a 4-star, you're just bound to not find much success.
Yeah. Hmm. Interesting. Should I log in back to Genshin? Like, what am I gonna do with Genshin? I already finished everything though. By the way, did you try doing the event in co-op, like the fighting the Hilichurl?
You can do it in co-op.
Yeah, you can matchmake. I don't know why you would.
Yeah, I don't see the point.
Yeah, did you like the fucking Hilichurl fight this time? Because it's all about plunging.
Like I said, I didn't do the event today. I'm
You
gonna do
should
it
have, because
tomorrow.
you should have, because it's all about plunging, Rusty.
I see.
Yeah, the fucking Hilichurl also plunges with you.
Funny.
And they can dodge your plunge attack because they also jump in the air. That's stupid.
Right, so Alt Zora is fucking gooped up with all this weird icky shit right now. And
Okay,
it's very
Rusty.
annoying.
So obviously Amber has some mains, Kaya has mains, Lisa has mains, Barbara has mains, right?
Yes, to all.
Shangling, Beidou, Chinchu, Ningguang, Fisher, Bennett has mains. Noel, are there Chongyun mains?
Chongyun mains. Now that is actually... If you don't have Raiden, he's the replacement in the national team.
Yeah. There are Diona mains, no Shinyan. Obviously, Rosaria mains exist because she's hot. Yanfei, definitely
I'm kind of a
Sombo.
Rosaria main.
Sayu, definitely.
Already
I'm not
talked
gonna
about
mention.
that, yes.
I'm not even gonna mention Alloy.
Yeah,
Nobody
Aloy
mains.
shouldn't count.
Aloy and Shinyan are the two characters that don't have any mains.
Although if we did... Actually, she might actually be... I know one Aloy main. They have a YouTube channel and everything.
What's wrong with them? Goro definitely has mains, especially because she has Miss Hina.
Nice.
Yunjin has mains. Cookie, Shikanoin, Keizo definitely has mains. Kole has main. Dory has main. Candice has main. Layla has mains. Farson has mains. Yao Yao has mains. What about Mika? I mean, people probably use Mika, but I don't like him. He's kind of meh.
No, yeah, I'm pretty sure Mika... Yeah, I think Mika might be the winner. Because he just freaking sucks. Literally nothing about him is likable. He has no redeeming qualities.
Yeah, Mika is kind of, healer, attack speed buff. Definitely built for Eula support, but kind of doesn't really
Yeah,
do
but
well.
no one uses him for supporting Eula.
I know.
He's
Kabe, main.
he's a
Kirara, they have.
Chi alternative more commonly nowadays.
Lynette has mains. Femine has mains. Charlotte definitely has mains.
Yeah,
Shavrush has mains.
C6
Yeah.
C6
Gavin
of
has mains.
uh
Yeah, I
Lynette.
guess there's only two characters that doesn't have mains. Well, three, I guess. Shinyan, Alloy, and then fucking Mika, right? I don't even have Mika. What the fuck? I never got him. I
Nice.
thought I thought he came out in an event or something. By the way, can you show me your like stats on like your artifacts for Navia? Why does your Navia not do damage?
Maybe some other time. I don't feel like relogging.
I know. But yeah, like struggled getting Navia to 60 crit rate, by the way. But yeah, like my goblet has 14% crit, not 22% crit damage and 14% attack. My circlet has 14% attack.
This
Only
shield
my
will be useful here specifically, so.
like Resty, all of my relics on Navia has 14% or more attack, except for the timepiece because the timepiece is attack percent main stat.
Nice. There it is. Dang.
Like Resty, my feather on Navia has 22% attack. My goblet has 14% attack. My circlet has 14% attack. Only my flower is 8% attack. And then you gotta remember I have Wolf's Gravestone. That increases my attack by another 60% when I get
I
the
mean, what?
buff.
Why should my freaking artifact stats matter anyway? You already know it's 61-20 some or crit rate, crit damage ratio for
I'm
me.
not asking for your crits, I'm asking for your attack, just like, main stats. The substats on your relics. I want to see if it's replaceable. Your fucking shit ass relics.
I suppose.
Like I'm gonna check what's replaceable and what's not. And hopefully in the next patch of Genshin we can, craft the fucking artifacts for what's her name? Navia.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the latest stuff that we can craft on the artifacts now? The artifact strongbox latest
It'll be
thing
the last
is
of the Sumeru artifacts,
yeah.
which is the Hydro and the supposedly Dihya
What's
set.
the val who the hell uses the Valley Right one again? When normal attacks hit opponents, there is a 36% chance to trigger value. Ah, that's for Ayato, right?
Yes, I think so.
After using an elemental burst, this character will gain the National Flight effect, increasing their attack by 8%. When the character's HP decreases, their attack will further increase by 10%. This one is for Dia, if you want to make her a damage dealer, I think.
Supposedly. It isn't very good for her though.
The latest thing that we can craft isn't actually from Sumeru. I think it's from the fucking... the cast Resty.
Yikes.
Valley... Hang on, let me check the chasm. Yeah, it's the chasm one. And then before that is the Ocean Youth Clam, Resty.
Sad. Eh, I'll come back for the spear reward later.
What time is it? Someone joined my world and asked, "Hey, how's it going?"
Cool.
Is this a friend? Mine? Huh? Yeah, it is a friend. I do remember this guy. And I'm pretty sure he's been inactive for a long time. And now he's back online. What the fuck?
Nice.
Hmm. Why is Nubalik crying? Oh yeah, I forgot. You know the idol animation, Rusty? The New Valette one where it starts raining on him?
Nani?
The
Hydra Dragon, don't cry.
New Valette has a idol animation where it rains on him and it actually gets your characters wet.
Bruh. Ooh. Ooh. These are really good. Yeah, this is a good set. The beam emitters were really good. You can make all sorts of wacky weapons of mass destruction with those. Especially if you know how to abuse them.
He's asking me for tips. And in a bit, Rusty, I don't know what to tell him.
Don't be like me. Ah,
Hmm. When are they gonna update Genshin to where we can, talk to NPCs while we're in co-op?
yeah, that'd be great.
So one of my friends, Rusty, pulled for Xiao, and now she doesn't care about Xiao anymore.
Nice.
Okay, I understand now. The reason why this guy wanted to join my world was for fishing.
Nice.
He wants to
Understandable.
fish for Fermina. I'm gonna go let him.
I don't remember this chest. I wasn't very thorough with my shrines on my first playthrough,
What shrine? Ah,
but now I am since I guess this is going to be my 100% save file.
So many fishes. There be treasure. He what the he's like, yeah, thanks. Oh yes, so many fishes. There be treasure. Yar. What the fuck?
Oh, I guess that was just to demonstrate. You can do this to carts. And then when you attach a fan, you don't need to worry about any bullshit. Now we take off. You're in Fontaine. Somewhere in Fontaine. I don't know where, but I know you're there.
Can you hear Genshin again? The fuck?
No, I'm not. But I hear your Genshin.
Why?
Who knows?
You know, Rusty, if you type, so you know when typing in Discord, if you type a hashtag first, it can make the text big.
I see. I didn't find any of these things on my first playthrough until like she's over there now. She pretty much circles all around Hyrule, and she's guaranteed to at some point at least be close to any of the towers or near the Great Sky Island. But yeah, she's very hard to reach until after you've saved the Great Deku Tree, because she's just kilometers up high. Even the towers can't help you. But here I am. I only need one more. You know, let's do this shrine. Hopefully my classes get suspended.
Why? You want another bomb threat? Why not do the bomb threat yourself so that
No,
classes
I'm
could
not
help?
though. I don't have to do anything. It's already happening. It's causing an
Wow,
uproar on the parents.
nice. But imagine, it's not even true. Like it's so clearly fake. And here's the thing, you know the fucking yeah, I gotta fucking talk about this. You know the fucking picture that they sent, right? The fucking like
Hmm.
regular military hand grenade, right?
Yep, straight up.
That's so stupid. Like that doesn't even explode buildings, Resty.
No,
It's
it doesn't.
it's anti-personnel.
Indeed.
So there's some guy, Resty, the guy that's fishing with me right now. He hasn't unlocked the boss fight yet for the whale, and his Farina is 6-6 on skill and talent.
What the fuck is this?
What do you win? What?
There's weapons in the beginning of this shrine? Excuse me?
There aren't?
You're telling me I did this the hard way? Where I had to play Grand Theft Auto with this stupid ass shrine? Time to make roadkill. Ow. No, you're supposed to be roadkill. Vroom vroom, motherfucker!
Dewey Mum.
I missed. Haha, now we're talking. Ow. Ow.
What are their stats? That's pretty good Shao. Oh, that's Black Cliff. Shao. The catch.
Okay, having some weapons is super nice.
So, how many times have you done that, and how many times have you not noticed the weapon at the start?
Uh, Many. I thought this was like a really hard puzzle battle shrine thing where you had to make use of the environment as your only means of getting damage. Oh, I am just the best.
Hmm. So this guy has level 10, level 10 on everything on Shao. Is
Alright,
it
someone
Shao?
really likes Shao.
Obviously, they didn't pull for Shao just now. They pulled for Shao a long time ago, definitely.
Woo! It did make finally getting this car all the more satisfying in my original playthrough of this shrine, I suppose. But this was still very satisfying.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm not the first person to make this comparison, but this shrine really shows to me that Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is literally just Nintendo's version of GTA. Very fun. Ooh, a magic rod.
Can you tell me what healers work on mono and emo wrestling?
Mono Anemo healers. Bennett? From what I remember, the most famous. Oh, it's for Shao, isn't it?
Yes.
Do they have Faruzan?
Harusa is not a healer wrestling.
I know, I'm just asking if she's there supporting since any Anemo, any Mono Anemo comp is always better with them. If they have Shan Yun, I mean, I know I make fun of it, but Shan Yun and Shao do work together. Although the banner for her is gone now, so it's a little too late for him to consider that now.
Yes, I'm Shen Yun, and he already built her.
then I don't see the problem here. If Shan Yun's healing somehow isn't enough and they need a bit more offensive power,
No,
then
the thing they don't have any elements to swirl.
Bennett,
His mon Resty, his mono anemo is Xiao, Kazuha, fucking
uh,
Faruzan, Canyon. If you go for that
he
team,
should consider if he has Jean, he might want to consider they might want to consider Jean and Bennett together for Sunfire.
Kazuha is just too good.
I see. Kazuha. I mean, Faruzan might be a good choice. Swirl Hydro. Chingchu isn't a bad choice either. He's 4-star, so he's more accessible. Just gotta do some normal attacks with Xiao. Do what I do with my Hu Tao, where you normal attack, then you plunge. Although in my case, it's normal attack, charge attack, then plunge. There's also Beidou, I guess, who can provide some shields as well, which I'd
How big
argue is pretty nice too. Chingchu does
how,
pretty much the same thing.
how big is Faruzan's fucking? Oh yeah, it's E6. What does E6 Faruzan do again?
60 crit damage
That-
on burst for
That's
Anemo.
annoying. So I can look at like my friends' fucking like characters, right? I can look at their artifacts, I can look at their constellations, but I can't look at it in depth.
Nice.
I need to look at my own Faruzan to see what the C6 do.
Yeah, the tail on the glider telling you where the wind is going is super nice. I would have thought my Joy-Con was drifting otherwise.
How much? What the fuck does Shanyun's buff give? What does she give to plunge?
Hmm? She increases every character's plunge height, jump height, for a limited number of time
Tell me,
and uses, and
tell me,
increases their the crit
how much
rate.
crit?
How much crit? Like it depends. The maximum is 12, I believe. I don't know how you get those stats, but I'm pretty sure I'm always getting the 12%.
No, but it does more than just that, right?
Oh, and she deals extra. She lets you deal extra damage based on her attack every time you plunge, along with the crit, based on her own attack.
Oh,
That's really all I know. May as well use the breakdown services since I'm here. Sadly, I can't recover that. Everything else is fair game. Halberd might be cool.
So his mono on ammo, right? Kazuha, fucking Shao, C6 Faruzan, and Shan Yun. What enemy? What can get replaced so that they can place elements?
What's his team?
Mono on ammo.
Yeah, who are the characters? You said.
I already said. You already fucking know.
Say it again, because I didn't hear.
Shao, Kazuha, Faruzan, fucking Shan Yun.
Chao, Kazuha, Faruzan, and Shanyun. Yeah, it's a pretty solid team. Why does he want Swirl? Why does he want to swirl an element there? It's just pure Anemo goodness.
Because Resty, fucking Kazuha is only good if you can swirl an element.
I see, so he doesn't want to remove Kazuha.
No, I'm telling him what he. I said Kazuha should be the one that you need to remove.
Yeah, exactly. Kazuha isn't meant for mono. I would indeed suggest the same. Replace it with literally any other elemental character, and it'd be great. I guess it's worth trying. There she is. I must catch up with her somehow. Flying device might be necessary.
Hang on, I need to do some fucking correction needed.
Correction. Oh, I'm wasting my time. Zelda's getting away. Zelda is already too far gone. I'm better off just looking for the next tower. Oh hey, sled shield. If I can get there in time.
Someone's calling me, Resty. I mean, we don't have anything to talk about now anymore, right? Shall we
Yeah,
just connect?
we should just
Okay.
go. Yeah, see ya.
Enjoy your show, and hopefully you still have classes tomorrow. Goodbye.
Hmm. There it is. I was gonna ask, why isn't this running out of juice yet? Well, I've come this far. Let's hope I have enough altitude. Bruh. This is a once-in-a-lifetime type of picture. Yeah, I'd argue the Master Sword's a lot easier to get here than in Breath of the Wild. The hardest part of Tears of the Kingdom is knowing where to find the Master Sword. After that, it's just 24 shrines. Maybe even 20 minimum. Whereas in Breath of the Wild, you need either 40 shrines or 24 shrines and the rest of the Divine Beast quests all completed. The stamina thing will catch you off guard if you thought it was gonna be hearts again. Like in Breath of the Wild. Don't worry, we'll receive context as to how significant this scene actually is. In particular. Right now, just know this is absolutely badass.
Link. Link. The Master Sword. Your sword. She is the key to destroying the Demon King. He defeated her before, but a long slumber will heal these grievous wounds.
A very long slumber.
And when you two next face the Demon King, you will have my strength to help you through her. Link, you are our final hope. I pray this sword reaches you in the future.
Message received. Or in this case, sword. It's solemn, she doesn't even try swinging it around. Although we haven't recovered the memories yet, we understand This is likely very significant that the Master Sword is in this dragon's head. We don't know. Soon we'll know, hopefully. But for now, we've got the sword that seals the darkness back. I'd say it's still objectively the best weapon in the game. There's no quest that allows us to get it to have like 9 million durability per 10-minute recharge. With 60 power and everything. Anyway, there's one guy I'd like to fight. And make it drops the first thing we fuse into the sword. The opponent I seek is here. So obviously at some point I wanted to know what Tarrytown was up to. So of course I eventually made my way there. Since Zora's Domain was intended to be my first place, it was basically just a sidetrack for me originally. And en route, I encountered my first ever of a particular powerful foe. I should have a Korok front weapon. There they are. Yikes. There he is. My first ever Lionel in this game was this guy. Straight up white instead of a red one. Because my first Lionel was in Zora's Domain during the Zora questline. Let us boogie. Ouch. I don't think a defense boost will help me here. I'll get the first strike. Fairy. Dang it. I don't want this diamond to go to waste. Oh yeah, baby. So something really weird about the Master Sword is that its base damage is not shown for some reason. Uh, but for anyone curious, it's 30. Same as in Zelda in the Breath of the Wild. It is so confusing why they felt the need to do that. Pretty sure the heart is pretty weak. Oh, I should have fused the Light Dragon's horn instead. That would have been cool too. Next time.
Yo, I am currently trying to beat hardcore Minecraft 100 times in a row without dying on any of the worlds, and it's kind of
What
hard.
the
I've got
fuck?
left, you'll see a whole bunch of stats. So I've died 4 times, so I've had 4 different streaks, the longest of which has been 27. And we're currently on 16, so I feel like I've been learning a lot, and I honestly feel like I can make it to 100. You do have to play Minecraft a lot differently. Number one, you have to play every single world you get, which is not usual for speedrunning. Like in speedrunning, you like reset a world and something doesn't go right because you want to beat it really fast, right? And number two, it's hardcore mode, so everything just kills you. You get hit by a piglin twice, you're dead. Hit by a wither skeleton twice, you're dead. Toggling twice, you're dead. Like lava, you're dead. Everything just kills you. And so I have to enter the Nether.
I believe there are sleds in here, but I don't know how to get up there.
Really slow, but I've been having a lot of fun with this challenge, and I've actually been doing a lot of things the past couple, like 2-ish weeks, but I feel like there hasn't been a lot happening on my YouTube side. It's like, what's this guy gone? What's he doing? What is he spending his time on? A lot of this, the hardcore thing isn't actually even what's taking most of my time these days. Well, actually, maybe it is debatably. Maybe I still think it's taking all my time, because I just really like doing this, and so it doesn't feel like a time sink, because I'm just having fun, you know? I've also been trying to farm 10 million melons in Minecraft, which is also really hard. I'm trying to do it in 100 Minecraft days. Something I've tried before. I got like 3.9 million melons. That was like, it was pretty embarrassing. So I'm trying to get 10 million this time. And I've actually done a full 100 days, only to not hit 10 million. I got like 6.8 million.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom is really suffering from lack of DLC.
So that's like 30 hours that I spent. I did learn a lot.
If this game had DLC, that would just be so great.
Try again. I also had another attempt where I did a full 42 days. Just realized that.
But alas,
I scrapped that. So I've done
Nintendo does not want DLC
just
for this game.
Video. It'll probably be like the intro video when I finally get 10 million. I'll be like, yeah, I kind of spent like 142 days. So that's where most of my time has been.
Right, I guess I'm going for doing the regional phenomena now.
Challenge thing because I realize I haven't like said anything.
I think I can save that for next episode.
These attempts on my alt Twitch account, like it's a totally silent stream. I don't really speak to chat, just because I want to focus up. I don't really want to die. So I've just been putting a lot of work in, but I realized people who watch the stuff might just not even know. So
alright, I still need my armors upgraded.
On the hardcore challenge, because it is cool. I don't know if I'm going to continue it if I die at, like, World 50 or something.
I'm gonna go see if I can get some sleds.
When you die once, your streak's over, you know? I never experienced that once when I died.
Oh, I know I can get sleds in the Gerudo Desert.
I was cooking. I'd only died 3 times ever in this challenge.
I may as well see if there's a sled here too.
I felt freaking sick. And then in a matter of like 3 seconds, I just died in a world. I can't remember exactly how this death. I think it was England. That's right. That was my most. Yeah. I just got 2 taps. It was kind of insane. I think my 4 deaths so far has been like a dead with Piglin. That was the one that just most recently happened. I blew myself up with a bed in the end. That one was kind of sad, but I was only like 3 rolls in, so it really didn't matter. I got 2 tapped by a wither skeleton, pretty similar story to Piglin. Story like a mob just sneaks up on you, boom, bang, you're dead. So you have to play it really safe. And then I can't really remember what the other death was. I probably fell in lava or something. So I have a couple of rules around this challenge to hopefully prevent myself from dying. One of which is no speed bridging, even though I'm very confident in my speed bridging, and genuinely I think there's probably a good chance, like, if I speed bridge this whole challenge, like, there's probably somewhat of a chance I'm not gonna fall, but there is a chance that I'm gonna fall, and it's just not worth it. You know, I'm not 100% like secure in speed bridging. Like, I will fall every once in a while, especially if you start thinking about it in your head. So that's one of the rules. The other rule is I don't ever enter the Nether without 15 good pieces of food. This enter right here is actually a really fast enter. Sub 5 is kind of hype. I've spent in like iron right here. I think I played this out really well. I didn't have a really good cave around me, so I went and got a water cave, smelting up my iron as I'm building the portal, so we're lacking that. Just over 5 minutes, I have 9 pork, 5 steak, and 2 chicken. So that should last me the entire run. Most runs I'll actually have extra food, but want to be prepared for when we have that really bad world. You know, that's what you're playing around. Is if you're, like, say, you only get 6 pieces of food every single run, that works out, but the one run it doesn't work out, you're just dead, you know? It's hardcore. So we're entering the nether here, nothing insane. If you've seen some of my other speedrunning videos, I mean, I usually try to enter the nether in under 2 minutes, so it's a lot different, but this is really good pace for this challenge. And the rest of the run should speed up. The overworld feels the slowest relatively, just because you have to get so much food. But the nethers aren't that much slower than I would normally play them. I mean, you have to route the bastions a little different. You don't want to die. But other than that, like, you're using all of the first thing you attack, so hopefully it goes alright. I can't even remember if there's a bastion close here. I wasn't really paying attention. But that does bring up an interesting point. The normal strat is to E-ray a bastion to find where that is, right? That's usually the stop of the speedrun. But because I'm playing out every single world, E-ray is a bit different. Oh, I saw a sport back there. I don't know who that's. I now know what it's that. The weird thing with playing out every single Minecraft seed is sometimes you just don't have a bastion that's close enough to you to, like, be able to E-ray. And most of the time, they're farther than you would normally play out, so you're playing out every single world, not, like, playing out the good ones. And so I have to learn how to like E-ray again, because I was so used to E-rating bastions that are close to me. I just had no practice with bastions that were far from me, and this bastion like isn't that far. But I learned some cool tech with the F3 menu to see if like there's a bastion in my rendered
This is
area.
precarious.
Somebody like Hurryway would know a lot more about like finding bastions that are farther away. But I just find that interesting. I've had a lot of fun with this challenge because I'm playing differently. Like I see this ruined portal here, and maybe if it was normal speedrunning, I'd be like, nah, it's too far away to justify going to it. But here, I'm like, I'm so going to that ruined portal. I get to make myself some gold armor before I go into the bastion. So I'm just a lot more safe. I gather some soul sand there, so we jump to the bastion a little easier. And I see that it's bridge, which is good because bridge is basically guaranteed to, like, you get everything. Just locked at the little chalice portion, but I'm never really worrying about having to go to a second bastion, because that's something that can happen in this challenge. You just have to go to multiple bastions because you don't get all of your pearls. One reason that I've been debating making these hardcore speedruns into a video is they're so much slower than normal that it feels harder to make a commentary about. One of the reasons I really started doing these speedrun commentaries because it felt like such a good length for a commentary. Like, sub 15 minutes, you know, I could talk for that amount of time. But these ones are going to be a little longer. Now this one, it's a faster than usual hardcore speedrun, so it's not going to be too bad on me. It's like 18 minutes long or something. Sorry, spoiler on the time. And I don't die, so another spoiler. Wow, I'm just a terrible content creator. I spoiled everything. I'm finding it surprisingly easy to talk about this hardcore stuff. I mean, I guess I just haven't talked about it. I just find it fascinating that things can be different. Like what I just did, I hard targeted that Hologram, bro. If I was playing Skywars with him or something, he would be freaking out. He'd be like, why is this guy trying to kill me so much? Because you just have to hyper-fixate on the threats in this speedrun, because if you don't, there's a chance you can die. And if you're doing 100 in a row, you sure as heck don't want to be dying on run 99. So I made sure to lava that Hologram. I'm like half paying attention to this recording, kind of like looking around my talking. I didn't really care about getting Hogwarts there, which I might in a normal run. But in a speedrun, it's just like...
It's still good too, though.
Oh my gosh, I was looking at Enderman.
And then dog and steaks and stuff.
I look at that Enderman, he 2-taps me, that's it. I have to restart all my 16 rounds. The main thing I'm looking for here is
Homing carts, constructs, heads, and steaks. These are all very, very good.
World, you really want to be forcing 20 obsidian. That's one of the biggest splits of the run. So if you get 20 obsidian, you're saving a ton of time. Another big sticking point is I want at least 3 fire potions. Sometimes the fortress can be really far away, and again, you want to be playing for those bad situations so you can last in the nether a long time if you're not finding the fortress. And besides that, I think it's just basic trading. One thing that I've liked doing is crafting up iron armor. It feels cool to finally have a really good reason to use up all those iron nuggets, because in a normal run, you probably shouldn't take the time to craft an iron chestplate, but in this, it gives you so much more comfort, safety. I'm not sure what the right word is there. We'll call it comfort. It gives you so much more comfort. And perhaps my favorite thing about this challenge is it's given me a lot of freedom to experiment with how I lay out my hotbar and how I organize my inventory, because I feel like I've had pretty good inventory management, but I think it
slowly upgrading gear over time as you find more enchantments to apply to it. And since the XP cap works differently, you will have more freedom over the order the enchantments show on your items instead of whatever binary tree worked best. With the current experimental villager changes, many did not like that they didn't sell max level enchantments. But here, it could be a bonus, as you might only want sharpness 4 if it meant putting another level of sweeping edge on your sword. But if you want a high level, you can combine them with little cost. It would also allow Mojang the freedom to add more enchantments to the game without worrying about ways that would be even more overpowered. As instead of it being another enchantment to buy to get max gear, it's another choice, another possible playstyle opening. Now, as different items have a different amount of enchantments, they will have to have a different amount of enchanting power they can hold. So items which can only have unbreaking or mending, like the Elytra, will have to have a lower amount than those with more, like the sword. Also, the different levels of enchants should be scaled differently. Like sharpness 5 should be around 1.5 times the cost of sharpness 4 instead of just one level more, which would better give the idea of choosing 4 low-level enchantments from a few higher ones. But there could also be some more fun modifications to this, like gold items making the enchants cheaper so you could get more wonderful, or just remove the limit entirely for them so it's
Let's
impossible
go get to the
max
gazelle.
Gold gear. Also, as there's now a
Right.
better way to
It
limit
still
enchants,
fucks me up that
a lot of the mutual exclusive restrictions. So if
the
you want
quest log is here now. It makes a lot more sense, especially if you're in Japanese, because these are still presented as Link's very own diary. So it makes more sense for them to be here, since it made sense for them to be in the Sheikah's late last time too.
protections. Remove their 80% damage cap so that if you have at least 30 points across your armor, not including normal protection, you can reach 100% immunity to that type of damage, leading to new interesting gameplay. Having full projectile protection would encourage you to keep a distance on your foes as their ranged attacks would have no effect on you. But if they get close to you, their melee weapon will be doing more damage to you than if you had normal protection. On top of everything else, this would encourage making multiple sets of gear for different scenarios, instead of just having the one set to rule them all. You can use the
Armor upgrades next episode. I want to go to the depth
sets, like red
and farm some more Zonite.
And use armor stands to display these sets. Then you can use the new armor swapping mechanic to quickly change between the sets of armor. But it would be nice if we could place items in the hands of the armor stand though. You could even add over-enchanted items as rare loot that will have more or even higher level than max level enchantments like Sharpness 6. However, as there will be overly enchanted limits and will not have mending, there will be no way to modify or repair it, meaning that powerful yet situational items as you have to be careful when you use it or it will break. Give it a different enchanting glint, so that if you ever encounter a player with this new glint, you know they are bringing out the big guns, helping you to decide whether or not to flee, or to get out your own and attempt to acquire theirs. Sure, there will have to be some testing and balancing over how much does each enchant cost, and how much enchanting power can each item hold, but compared to the old system, anything would be better. I would suggest a top-down approach for enchants, where instead of mending sharpness 1 being around the same level since they are both level 1, have mending close to the sharpness 5 since they are both the max level, and scale down from there. If you really wanted, you could have the difficulty affect the scaling so that you can fit more enchants on easy and less on hard. Another option is to possibly have a way to increase the amount of enchantments an item can have over time. But I wouldn't want it to be something you could just make a farm once for and just have better gear from there on, as we would be back at square one. Regardless, I believe this is the fix to anvils that enchanting needs to be loved again, to make it interesting, engaging, and balanced, to make it good again. So, if we have solved one of the largest parts of playing this Minecraft, what about another one? Transport. Although there are many forms of it, I'm sure most of you only use one on a regular basis. It's faster than a speeding boat, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings with a single boost. Look, up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Wait, we don't have those in Minecraft. It must be the Elytra. The Elytra is the strongest form of transport, being one of the fastest, the most agile, doesn't need any pre-built setup, doesn't rely on fall damage, in fact, stops you from taking fall damage, has minimal usage costs, and something you can easily carry with you, all with the downside of a little less protection and being locked behind Minecraft's not-so-late game. There is a reason why no one seems to make large railway systems anymore, apart from those piston bolted drawers who usually situate themselves on the nether roof. The Elytra was introduced in the controversial 1.9 update, which fundamentally changed the way we play Minecraft. Not just with regards to combat, but back then the Elytra was still just a glider. Jump from a great height, then glide down to the ground. Its benefits to its trade-off, taking over the chestplate slot, is more of a balanced choice. But, as always, it didn't take long for people to find a way to exploit its behavior in the form of a punch-tube bow. Although tricky to perform, in practice, some players were able to attain the power of infinite light at the cost of literally hitting themselves over and over again to gain speeds. So, 2 updates later in 1.11, Mojang made a choice that would forever change Minecraft by turning it into an intended mechanic by the very cheaply renewable firework rockets, a very much beloved mechanic by the community. Being able to fly infinitely by pressing right click every now and
Hey,
again,
sled.
launch into the sky without needing to jump off a cliff, escape almost any situation with ease, and so much more, made the Elytra so powerful that ever since then all other forms of transportation and all chest plates have been left to be forgotten about. People claim that exploration is boring, even with 1.18 mountains, but with the Elytra, exploration has effectively become a waiting game for the next chunk to load. You do not need to interact with the terrain at all now, as you would just fly over at speed and only look at the coordinates. Any adventure has now just become about the destination rather than the journey. Recently, Mojang did try to rectify the situation by tweaking the Elytra such that rocket boosting was slower, the Elytra only boosted up durability while boosting. Luckily, Mojang didn't keep these changes. So how do you creatively nerf the Elytra to be more balanced without taking the fun away? Well, as rocket boosting is a very fun mechanic, rather than removing its functionality, why not perhaps make it so that not any old firework can give you a boost, but specifically fireworks crafted with Dragon's Breath? You will always have access to the glide mechanic in the Elytra, which is the passive boost reward the first time you kill the Ender Dragon and go loot in End City. But if you want to get the full potential out of the Elytra, you can't just go to your fully automated sugarcane and create the farm with infinite fireworks. You need to go to the end every now and again to get one, making the more powerful boosting and active effect which you need to work for. I choose Dragon's Breath as it is an already existing item with its own achievement. However, its current uses are very lackluster. Like the Elytra, they both relate to the dragon, and you're more likely to obtain the breath after you have an Elytra, as opposed to normal fireworks which you can obtain easily before. Dragon's Breath is still a renewable material, but not necessarily as farmable as you need to complete the quest of bringing glass bottles to the end. You spawn the Ender Dragon and collect its breath, before killing it again to reopen the portal and return home to acquire more. And when you run out, you need to go do it all over again. Biggest problem is for those who have or want to renovate the End Islands, but worry about respawning the Ender Dragon as the dragon itself breaks blocks. But the solution could just be as simple as the dragon will only break block if it is the original one. As fireworks are no longer completely free to take, each one has a cost to use. Not much, but enough to not spam them all over. Using a few here and there, especially to save yourself in dangerous situations, would be fine. When you start to need a whole stack just to get from place to place that you visit regularly, the costs will add up, and it will start to incentivize possibly using a different form of transport. But if you do still want to use fireworks all the time, it just requires farming more Dragon's Breath. It all comes down to what the player chooses to do. I'm not changing any of the mechanics like making rockets slower, I'm just adding a well-needed cost to balance the massive boost in power it provides. Another nerf, which I think could be an interesting idea but does affect the mechanics, is to have the Elytra deactivate when you touch any liquid, because we all know that bees can't fly in rain, so why would the Elytra be any different? You won't be able to use the Elytra while underwater, which doesn't make sense anyways, and would give a good reason to be on guard while flying in the overworld, or if the sky turns grey and you aren't close enough to the ground to reach it before it starts to rain, that could be a long fall just waiting to happen. You would still be able to launch yourself up with Riptide by standing in a puddle of water and ride from there, but you won't be able to use the Elytra because Riptide only equivalent to rain. Sure, it is one of the fastest forms of travel, but the only way to do it safely is still so high that you can't even see the terrain if it has even loaded based on its speeds, leaving just a grey and screen, usually with the debug menu enabled to know where you are, which isn't really interesting gameplay. It would mean that it's safer to use the Elytra in dry biomes where it doesn't rain, but otherwise it gives some possible downsides to the Elytra to be able to give the other forms of transport a chance. If you were to also make it deactivate in lava, it would make Nether slightly more dangerous again, as you wouldn't be able to just fly out of a lava lake if you accidentally fell in, and if you are unprepared, it could result in death again. Now, I wouldn't want to just nerf the Elytra without giving the other forms of transport a buff to help bridge the gap between the two. To help give the different modes the boost they need, we need to look at what sort of situation they should be targeting, and figure out why they aren't doing it justice. If the Elytra should be shorter, quick activation, and high-rating situations, what should the others do? First, looking at animals,
Wonder if I can use a
confidently
pop
say
string.
that pigs are perfect. Moving on, in 1.6, the horse update, we got, guessed it, horses. We also have donkeys, mules, llama striders, and recently, camel as rideable entities. The horse is supposed to be for adventures, being able to run quickly and jump high. It is supposed to be able to handle newly generated terrain as you explore for whatever it is you wish to find. However, there are three major and frequent obstacles that stop the horse in its tracks: trees, water, and cliffs. Although they do work well in the plains,
Maybe
these
this is a
obstacles
Yiga?
come far too
Or
often, and it would be more
no,
effort
Sneaky
than it's
Elixir.
worth to
That's still
take
good.
the horse with you. Now, what if while riding a horse,
A
these
Sheikah
acted your
blade
safety
would have
to
been
scaffold?
super cool
Wherever
though.
if you sat on top of it, you can enter the block on the sides and below. Horses would no longer get stuck on every tree they face, and only be stopped by the trunks themselves. To still incentivize going for the plains when possible, however, the horse could just travel slower while inside a leaf block similar to powder snow, but at least trees would no longer be a complete roadblock. Horses have a swimming problem. It's not too bad when you cross a river where you can use leads to pull the horse across or just meticulously push it across, but when you get it caught in line where the sky meets the sea, it's not so easy to solve. Apart from putting a long pitch or traversing the nether, which has its own problems, since you cannot put your horse into your pocket, your horse is effectively trapped on whatever island it's spawning. Up until recently, Bedrock Edition had the option to put them in a boat, but as players struggled to break the boat without hitting their horse, Mojang removed this feature, which I think is a mistake. Players could have used the relatively unknown mechanic of using the lead to get them out. But why not also work when using a fishing rod?
What?
Even better, when the player tries to jump while riding the horse. This would help horses immensely, increasing them to get from place to place. Another option would be to let horses benefit from boost champions like Deathstrider or Frostwalker, either by boosting a chance on your own route, or letting your horse armor have a chance. But that's another whole can of worms. And for this, just slowly climb down, put a bucket down, or for the more sophisticated, slow falling. Since the donkey and mule are off the horse, where the donkey is slower but storage of most things like the horse would help them too. The strider is the llama mode and doesn't really do changes, and the llama stabs someone 37 times to the chest. You do not need to speak about the llama. The camel, however, has some missed potential. Although you can have your friend join you on your journey, that doesn't help when you don't have any friends to join you. One idea I have to fill this void is to allow villagers to join you by trading them to gain their trust, and by hopping on a camel, villagers will attempt to join you, then later just try to trade with the villager again to tell it to get off. People have been asking for a better way to transport for ages, and this seems like it has potential, especially now as you add in possibilities of different biomes to complete the trading pool. Camels already only spawn inside desert villages, so it's not too far-fetched an idea. I think boats generally work okay, and everyone loves their ice pops in the weather, no matter how little sense it makes. The main thing to improve boats is an easy way to get other entities in and out of it. But the minecart? When powered rails are used to transport redstone signals more comfortably than minecarts, you know something is wrong. As the most expensive to set up, its payoff is usually just not worth it. Some very smart people figured out that you can make minecarts much faster by using curved rails and pistons, at the cost of being even more expensive and even worse to set up and fix, despite setups to automate the process. Minecarts and rail orientation can be messed up when placed. Minecarts bump into each other when going around corners and can just derail completely too quickly, which is why they're capped at the speed as they are now. Visuals are sometimes just wrong. Furnace minecarts just exist, and less important, spawner and command block minecarts just have their own.
How about their horn?
But the biggest problem of all, of course, is you just can't do sick jumps with them. To give copper more uses, why not add copper rails? But the oxidization of the rail indicates how fast the minecart can go, from very fast with new rails to much slower on oxidized rails. Use a downhill slope to build up speed until the max speed that rail will allow is reached. Or why not use the furnace minecart to reach those speeds? Making the furnace minecart more useful, and again, as it will be the main way to maintain these new speeds. You can give it a small inventory so that you can put a lot more fuel in it for long distances, and use an activator rail to automatically turn it on and off. Use chains to link it to your minecart and potentially
I missed the drill shaft.
along the way, and to be able to make actual trades. It would also be nice to be able to right-click rails with your hand or a special item to be able to rotate the rails between its possible rotations, much like a debug stick can, to be able to have more control over the rail placement when placing a lot in close proximity. By giving nerfs to the Elytra and buffs to the other forms of transport, create a more balanced and interesting playing field, where each shines in its own area rather than having one mode of transport everything. I agree with the larger Minecraft community for an update. However, since I laugh in the face of danger, I do not agree how the inventory needs to change. I firmly do not believe the common suggestions of just add more rows or increase the stack size are good solutions at all. In fact, I believe that the inventory as it is right now is a pretty good size. Instead, what we are lacking are the tools to easily manage everything. People claim that as Minecraft has gotten older, the amount of obtainable blocks has bloated while the inventory size has not changed. I think to differ. Minecraft's first inventory held a maximum of 36 stacks, a total of 2,304 items, although more realistically 2,000 when you have some slots for your tools like the sword and axe. Well, since 1.3 of the Ender Chest, 1.9 of the Offhand, and 1.11 of Shulker Boxes, your inventory can now hold up to 110,592 items, or more realistically, 100,000 items, a total of 50 times more storage capacity. That's before you consider the likes of Donkey, chest minecarts to carry more items with you wherever you go. So, what improvements do I think could be made? Currently, although the main inventory is 36 slots, your hotbar can only use 9 of them at a time. The rest is effectively a backpack. But what if each row of your inventory acted like its own hotbar? Then add some toggles such that when scrolling, instead of scrolling across your hotbar, you scroll through the different hotbars of your inventory, much like some rotating storage. So although the actual size of the inventory has not changed, it may feel like it got bigger as now you have easier access to all of it. One thing you can do with this is instead of having most of your hotbar taken up with all your different tools, leaving only just a few slots for blocks, you can dedicate that row to tools and then scroll to the rows that have all your blocks from building. Or you can split your rows based on what you're doing, but pickaxe and stone-based blocks on one, and then axe with wood-based blocks on another row. Speaking of tools, I will have to admit that for the updates, they are the one thing that we have gotten more of that does actually take up more of our inventory.
Instead of using a Zonai device for blimps, just use wood. Then use either a par fruit or a flint. I recommend flint. It's far safer.
So no one ends up even it. However, a possible addition is to add some sort of tool belt. A new part of the inventory which can only hold unstackable items for those tools that we seldom use. The ones we don't want taking up much of our main inventory, but still want to have access to when we want to use them. It would also give more reason to hold something like a smite sword to quickly switch to without fighting mobs. Just also add tool trims to make it easier to differentiate between them all. Stock in development hell lies the bundle, which could be a great tool to handle lots of individual types of items. However, in its current form, it's not really easy to take particular items out of it, apart from spewing everything onto the ground. It does, however, have a pretty nice UI to show what's inside, but trying to get this preview to work well on mobile is the roadblock that is people at it. I would implement the bundle. I would make it so that you can open it up like a chest, but from inside the inventory. Since the bundle itself isn't an unstackable item, there will be no need to split stack, so right-clicking it can open it up. From there, you can move items in and out of it with ease. Just make sure to keep that one stack limit. Or perhaps make it 3. Turning it into a semi-chest could also be the solution that the mobile platform needs to overcome its roadblock. Then, taking from the bundle, it would be nice for Shulkers to have a similar UI to see its contents from inside the inventory, rather than just the text that it is today. In version 1.21, Minecraft finally received the autocraft that has been requested for years, and it does work great. But that doesn't mean we can also improve the manual crafting experience. Crafting is literally in the name of the game. If you've ever played around with villagers, you might have learned that you can press space to be able to automatically input what you last traded to make bulk trading easier. So tell me, why can't you do the same with crafting, instead of needing to click the crafting book every time? You can press Q on the output to automatically craft and drop the item simultaneously, but why not the whole stack at once? If you really wanted to increase the inventory size, let the 2x2 crafting grid also become slots of the inventory, so you can more easily craft on the go, or store more items at the cost of not being able to craft without the table. It's just little changes like this that would make the whole experience much more enjoyable, and perhaps make the inventory feel just a little more loved. Captain Joe, mission report on the combat snapshots you were working on. Nothing to report, sir. Nothing? This is outrageous. It has been 3 years since the last one came out. I need them pronto. You may be on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of master. Push those combat snapshots to a full release again. Before. Okay, seriously, where have those combat snapshots gone? There are so many, both major and minor changes that would be so useful to have. Additions like having your warriors and tridents return from the void, be able to hit enemies with smaller hitbox with less issues, shorter cooldown times when missing your swing, stackable potions, and so much more. Even if no further changes are added to them,
What am I, a literal goat?
as is, I can already hear the shouts of joy across the world with both 1.8 and 1.9 alike. It's a gold mine just sitting there, collecting dust. Just add it. It will be super easy, barely an inconvenience. One combat change I would like to see that is not part of the current combat snapshots has to do with the Death Lunar Reverse card, the Totem of Undying. Found only in the far corners of the world, inside the deadly mansions. These totems were so powerful that it could even save those who dying. However, they came at the cost of its rarity and difficulty to obtain. Even just holding one in your hand risked either using it or losing it, so you saved them for the times you really needed them. Otherwise, you were just wasting them. With your trusty steed and a map to guide the way, you set out on a quest to clear out the mansion and collect around 3 of these totems, with the hopes of turning your hardcore world into just a survival one. But then all that changed when the 1.14 nation attacked. The mansion was no longer the only way to get these totems, for there was a new supplier in town, the raid. No longer did the player need to travel all the way to the mansion, as the pillager patrols could spawn near you, which could then trigger a raid right at your home. And if you reached a high enough wave, it spawned the totem building abode with it. Now this alone wouldn't be too bad if it wasn't for the fact that raids were not only repeatable, but fun. No longer was a world limited in the amount of totems one could provide, but now players could collect as much as they desired. And if there was no cost to getting them, there was no cost to using them either. Gone were the days when players weighed up whether they should hold a totem or not. Now everyone just holds one regardless of what they are doing. And if one does pop, no worries. Just put another one in your infinite supply into your offhand. Death truly is no longer an option. Let's look at the other item that you might hold in your offhand before you get your hand on these powerful totems. The shield. With its ability to block incoming damage from in front of the player, it's still a pretty useful item, especially early game. However, unlike the totem, its effect is not active at all times. Instead, the player must choose to activate it by holding right click and at the cost of its movement speed and to attack. If the totem were to work like this too, then its power to cost ratio would be the balance again. The totem will no longer be able to just automatically save you whenever something goes wrong, but it must be called upon, or else it would not work. It would still be an item worth getting, as its power to save is still there. It just means that death still has a chance to get you when you are least expecting it to. Although it would be nice to see a reason to go to the mansion, but perhaps the illusioner could help take care of that. Speaking of death, let's now talk about the undead, more specifically, zombie people. When killed by a zombie, die uneasy, zombified apart. Originally, when a villager was zombified, it was all of its memories about what profession it was and what traits it had. So on hard mode, villagers had the potential to turn and attack you, but if you had the right resources, you had the potential to save them, so you didn't need to collect new villagers from scratch, and those that you did save gave you a discount on its new trades. However, this all changed in yet again 1.14, where villagers now remember their trades through the zombification process. Due to the discount mechanic, it then became incentivized to purposely zombify and lure villagers for a discount. And up until recently, you could even stack this discount for even cheaper trades. This one mechanic is one of the large reasons why people claim that hard mode is actually the easiest mode. Since villagers are the most humanoid mob, and forcing them into zombies just for your benefit is not very humane nor balanced. I would either have the large discount only be applied the first time they appeared, then diminish over time, or perhaps flip the difficulties, so that easy mode players can enjoy the large discounts, but if playing in hard mode and you let a zombie reach the villagers, say goodbye to your friends, because mistakes should have consequences. I am still a believer. With the right overhaul, the mob everyone hates, the monster of the night sky, the Phantom, can be redeemed. A few key changes to their behavior could be the difference between players disabling them or not. With regard to their spawning, make them check the light level of the ground below where they spawn, so that lighting the area does in fact stop them. And since they don't like cats, if a cat is nearby, they won't let them spawn either. Have the counter only increase when the player is in the overworld, since Nether and End don't have a day-night cycle, and for the technical player's sake, make them part of the general mob cap, so that the mob switchers can outright disable them. Apply some ease into the path the Phantom takes to make its movements not so jerky, so it is easy to tell where it is going, and therefore easier to hit. Have them start passive and get more aggressive the longer you don't sleep, and possibly utilize the size tag to make them more interesting. Make sure they don't apply knockback, and when dawn comes, just have them dive into the ground Terraria boss style, rather than having to deal with flaming phantoms. And since the membranes could have some use with the new annual changes, as you might prefer longer lasting Elytra over automatically repairing ones, the last change needs to be to change their screen to something which doesn't make me want to rip my ears off. Notice an interesting mechanic where if a creeper explodes while under a potion effect, creates a blink cloud effect with that same effect. But it is so extremely unknown because there's almost no reason for a creeper to ever have an effect during normal gameplay. Taking from hard mode spiders, what if other mobs were also able to spawn with these potion effects? Imagine a zombie with jump boost or a creeper with swiftness. Make it tied to the Y level, so that the deeper you go, the more likely for these mobs to appear, to give the idea that the more you descend, the harder it gets. Another way to expand the usage of Christians is to be able to tip your weapons, not just arrows. Allow the option for your sword to become slightly more powerful for the next few hits, at the cost of, well, using a potion. One other addition I think could be cool to see has to do with the new armor trims. Because the price needed to apply them effectively requires diamonds if you want to keep the template, there is a high chance that you won't be applying trims to anything below diamond armor. One way to add trims to low-level gear is to take the armor that can be naturally generated on hostile mobs and give those a small chance to come with any trim with any material. Like how people collected chainmail armor before you could spy on villagers, it will give a new reason to want to collect mob armor again. Also, please make the templates have a broken form that can be fixed instead of just breaking, so new players might not know how to do them at first, and then have no template to copy anymore. And for those that play on peaceful, hostile mobs could be added, but just make them passive like shulkers, so that they can enjoy their loot and have a chance to actually finish the game. Another one of the most commonly requested updates is to do another revamp of the End Dimension. Though I think there is a lot of potential here, until then, there are some small changes that the End could greatly benefit from. I know that the End is supposed to have this dead vibe to it, but there is a difference between something feeling dead and something just feeling boring. But the End is just completely flat, and all you do in it is wander around aimlessly hoping to come across a city, only to when you do, know exactly where all the loot is, especially once you have your first Elytra. There is little more challenge that the End provides, especially when you realize that the End is the only place where you can just stop anywhere, look down, and be safe. If all the different floating islands were to be at different Y levels, it would give more depth, literally, to the End without taking away from its desolate nature. Exploring the End both on foot and with the Elytra would be more interesting and would help the End cities not stick out like a sore thumb as much. Yet cities, would still be planned to the spot, but still only in a certain render distance, which is a silly problem
Ooh,
as there was
instant
nothing
cannon.
else in the game that limited my render distance quite as much.
You have no idea how
Increase the
useful
render
this
distance
is.
with the use of a mod like Distant Horizons, you can see is not much more of a problem. Since Eyes of Ender have little use now that you're here, what if while there, they now pointed towards the nearest city, so you no longer need to aimlessly wander until the city just happens to be there? The cities themselves could have some minor changes, i.e., move the chest to the center of the rooms, since although Minecraft encourages using your knowledge of the game to best it, being able to chase all the loot without even interacting with the shulkers, I think takes things a little too far, especially for the structure that gives some of the best loot in the game. Moving to the overworld, I remember when I first heard about amplified terrain, I'd been so mesmerized that I searched and searched to try and find some amplified terrain in my own world to build a base in, only to find out later that it was a completely separate world type. Sure, now we have the Shattered Savannah, but it just isn't the same. Why can't Amplified be a rare biome to find, especially with the new world fights? It would be amazing to live. And why not have the sinkholes from 1.18, Monolism Alpha, or other interesting phenomena with rare bits of geography to stumble across? Knowing stuff like this is out there, somewhere, gives me a reason to explore, when I know that there is something different to what I've seen hundreds of times before. And of things I have seen hundreds of times before, let's talk about structures, and how common some of them are. Create a new world around the release of Minecraft, and it's just you against a vast and empty world. You might come across an odd dungeon or abandoned mineshaft on the ground, but otherwise, you were the sole owner of this isolated world. As the updates passed and new structures were added, the world became more populated. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but when you can't start a new world and not immediately come across a shipwreck, a village or two, underwater ruins, and more, the world no longer feels like yours to do whatever with, but one that you've arrived late to and is already filled with its own inhabitants. When you have issues with two or more structures overlapping in ways that shouldn't make sense, it starts to take you out of the world. Has anyone actually bought an Ocean Explorer because they haven't somehow already looked 5 of these isles by this point? There is filling up a world, but there should be a limit. Underground structures and rare structures like the mansion are great, but there are some that need to be dialed back in terms of how common they are. One small change to an existing structure I would love to see as we reach the changes more personal to me is with the abandoned village. You see, the zombie horse already exists within Minecraft's code and can be spawned in creative mode, but it does not currently spawn naturally in survival. So why not replace the horses in abandoned villages with zombie horses, like it replaces the villager with its zombified versions? Or perhaps you could make them spawn as part of the village attacking the zombie siege. It won't affect much, as they would still be very rare, but it gives us something new to find and show off to our friends.
Wow, that's expensive.
Personally, I would love
For a
to
gosh
see the
darn
Green
wagon.
model. It was right there in the trailer. So why is it not in the game? I feel like I've been tricked, backstabbed, quite possibly bamboozled. Keeping in line with not having green, insert thing here, why isn't there a Azalea wood set? It was the perfect opportunity to add a green wood type to the game, but it would appear that there was another missed opportunity for greatness, alongside having Amethyst be a new notebook instrument, so that we can have control over its sweet sounds and play a beautiful melody with it. I would also love to see some bedrock mechanics added to Java. I'm going to skip over the whole movement block entity since I'm sure you've heard that request many times, and focus on snow and cauldrons. In Bedrock, when snow is above leaves, it can turn them white, and snow can exist in the same block as flowers and such, making it a truly white forest. And when the block below the snow is broken, it falls down and can stack on top of existing flow. It's such a nice addition. Also in Bedrock, not only can cauldrons hold water, lava, and powder snow, but dyed water and potions too. which can also generate in the witch hunts. You can use the dyed water cauldrons in order to dye your leather gear, and the potion ones to tip your arrows in a much more interesting way, especially since Dragon's Breath will have a far better use if we add the new fireworks. And finally, and most importantly, please revert the one game tick copper bulb change for all us Redstone's sake. Look, you might not agree with every single one of these changes, but I hope that you can see where I'm coming from. Some of these changes I am almost sure will spark some initial backlash. Others have already been made into mods. But if we want the game to last as long as Mojang does, we need to take a few hits now so that we can enjoy the game later, or that those after us enjoy it too. Why bother even adding a new transport system when it would never have the chance against the Elytra? Unless you make it even more powerful and introduce more power creep, it will be even harder to fix later. When players get into the habit of spending hours grinding, trading, building farms and such, just to become as powerful as possible because the current design of the game can encourage that, it creates a mindset in those players that Minecraft is just a game to beat and not played with. And so they complain that there's nothing else to do when they run out of extrinsic motivation, rather than using their own intrinsic motivation to be creative and craft their own fun. I don't like Minecraft. I love it. And if I didn't love it, I wouldn't be making this very long video back. Minecraft has been a game of my life, with more hours of playtime than I can possibly count, across many different worlds, both single player and multiplayer. And although I may not have the time to play as much as I used to, I still care very much for it, and love to see it continue to evolve and succeed. So, if you do like the ideas I've put forward, please leave a like, talk about it in the comments below, share this video around, discuss these ideas with your friends. It would truly mean the world to me. But this is all just one small step for Steve, but it is also one giant leap for Steve Kind.
How come this hasn't run out of durability yet? Always gotta jinx it, huh? Oh, I lost track of time. Let me just spend my Zonite, get some battery upgrades, and then that's it.
Oh. Ah.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Ah. Hmm. Hey. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Check it.
This will have to do for now.